Before we get into the show and introduce today's guest, I would just like to thank United Medical Credit for being sponsors of this podcast and of the Business of Dentistry. As a matter of fact, they have a special offer for Business of Dentistry members, 0% merchant fees for the rest of the year, and 30% discount for life after that. You can get that special deal by either going to docoffinvestments.com and clicking on the deals section, or by going directly to www.unitedmedicalcredit.com/TBOD. Thanks again, UMC.
Welcome to the Dear Doc podcast, where we will discuss the business of running a dental practice with a panel of experts. Now, your host, Dr. Christopher Hoffpower.
Hey guys, this is Doc Hoffpower coming to you from my home studio here in Alvin, Texas. Tonight, I am joined by Pete Johnson. He is the co-founder and chief revenue officer of LassoMD. Pete, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great. Excited to be on this Facebook Live with you and, talk to your members and introduce what we have to offer. So, it could be a lot worse.
Excellent. So guys, if you check out the description above, it'll talk to you a little bit about what it is that Lasso does. And of course, they're a web company, but there's so much more. Not only do you guys develop websites, you've actually come up with some really innovative tools that allow people to track their own ROI so that they know what they're getting, what they're paying for. Talk to us a little bit about what it is you guys do now. And I'm going to have a couple of questions for you after that.
Yeah, no, of course. And as you said, when it comes to online marketing, there are 50 plus companies in dental that will build you a website, that will do your SEO, do your Google ads, do social media. And that's all great. The fact is Google, Facebook, Instagram, all the major channels that practices are acquiring new patients, they give out the technical playbook for us marketers to follow. The difficult part is creating content that's going to resonate with your audience and engage them and or educate them enough to where it influences them to choose you over a practice down the street. So we do all of that. We'll get into that. But what truly separates us and makes us different than other marketing companies is that we're sticking our neck out on the line and being fully transparent. We've developed a software integration that actually reads your practice management software and has the ability to decipher whether or not a lead coming in is a new patient or an existing patient, and show you when those new patients, because we do not want to track the existing patients. You're not hiring us to reactivate, existing patients. You're hiring us for new patient acquisition. We can show you where that lead came from. Every call is recorded and transcribed. We can show you exactly where that lead came from, whether it's your SEO, your Google ads, your Google My Business, your social media. We can show you when they've scheduled, when they've completed, and most importantly, we can show you the new production that those new patients have brought your practice. So it allows us to verify our clients' marketing spend and actually translate it into numbers that matter, which is return on investment. If you're paying me $1, I'm going to give you back at least the very minimum $7. On average, we're about a 10x ROI, but we don't consider account in healthy standing if they're not above 7x ROI. And that's really, again, what separates us. Is a lot of these companies claim to have true dashboards, but they're just guessing at the value of an appointment and doing a lot of manual data entry. Ours is pulling data directly from your practice management software, so it's really easy for practices to understand.
Well, whenever I was doing research before I was a dentist, we called that manual data entry a custom Q test. It's where you take the data that you like that supports what you're trying to do and you throw the rest away.
Exactly. And I'm sure everyone's used to getting these analytics reports that give them data that, what are they going to do with? Like, okay, cool, you're ranking here on page 1. This many people viewed your website. This is how many impressions you had. To a business owner, does that really matter? To your SEO team or whoever's managing your SEO or online marketing, that information is important. That's what they use to make continuous updates and, continuously optimize your campaign. But at the end of the day, you are paying a company to do a service for you that you don't have time to do because you're busy taking care of patients. No one wants to do manual data entry. So you can access this dashboard any time of the day and see exactly how your marketing dollars are working for you and what we as a marketing company are doing to ensure that that return is a positive return and not one where you're just throwing money down the drain.
Fantastic. So one of the questions that comes up a lot is, do I own my content? And it's funny because not a single web company at this point has said, yes, you own your content 100%. So do they own their content?
They own their content 100%. The only thing that you would not own when working with us is our software. You are leasing that software from us more or less while working with us. However, if you decided to part ways with us for whatever reason, you own your website, you own any video content, and we'll go into how much of a focus we put on video content later. You own your photo content, your text content. Now, the common misconception that people have is, okay, you own your website, but if you move website companies, someone is still going to have to host and maintain that website. So what we will do is help facilitate the transfer of that website by either delivering the design files or help migrating your existing website with us to another server that's going to then be hosted and managed by either yourself or someone else. So yes, you own all the design files, you own anything and everything we do for you, but it's important to know that your website just doesn't move as easily as one might think.
Makes me think of the whole "I love peanut butter sandwiches." What was that from?
What is that from?
It wasn't The Count. Who was it?
I'm
something the Magnificent. It was like Sesame Street or something.
Yeah. Oh, what?
Can't remember the guy's name.
Was it? Yeah, whoever. He was a cool guy.
So, Pete, you guys started this company when?
Our 4-year anniversary was on April 6th of 2022. So a little over 4 years we have been in business.
Now, you guys used to be GPG, or Get Practice Growth, right? And folks,
Correct.
in full disclosure, I own a really, really, really tiny little sliver of this company. Talk to me about that, because there a lot of things happened, and there were a lot of angry people, a lot of disappointed people. And I told you whenever I said, look, if you want to come on to an interview, I'm going to have to address this because it's just the way I am. And you're like, I want to talk to them about it because I want to tell them what we've done and what happened. So the floor is yours, my friend. Talk to me about where the problems started, where the ball was dropped, and what you guys have done.
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, the reason for the name change actually had zero to do with any sort of negative, positive, or in-between feedback we were receiving. We were speaking with investors, and when we told them our name was Get Practice Growth, that's a mouthful, they're like, hey, we love your company, but your name, get rid of it. And we had already talked about changing the name, and we felt that once we got told that by some outside source, we're like, okay, let's pull the trigger. No reason we chose Lasso other than that it's easy to say. And we chose Lasso before Ted Lasso came out. So I get asked all the time, is it because of Ted Lasso? No, and it's not like we're trying to lasso in new patients. Sure, you can play off of it, but we chose Lasso because it was easy to say. Now, back to the original question. Many of you, or some of you, might have worked with us when you're at Get Practice Growth. We were a young company. We were still learning, and we had some growing pains. We grew a little bit too fast. But what we did during COVID is take all of the criticism that we received and really try to figure out a way to come out of COVID with a product that is beyond question, to where it works for everyone, that is easy to get started, and really just take what everyone said and put it back into the product. So instead of spending money on sales and marketing during that year and a half, like during, when we were really in COVID, we were sitting there making product improvements and trying to figure out how to create a company that everyone loved. And not to say that a lot of people didn't love us, but we did have some upset customers at one point. And I invite anyone to reach out to me personally that has had a bad experience with us. I am more than happy to talk to you. I will take anything you say, bring it back to my business partner, and we will take that into consideration when making changes moving forward. But the biggest difference or the biggest change that we made was getting rid of setup fees and creating packages that have zero setups. So, lowering the barrier to entry and speeding up the onboarding process. A lot of the problems that we had were because we were building custom websites that might take 4 to 6 months to build, but we would begin billing 2 months after a client signed up with us, regardless of whether or not their services went live. Now, most clients would go live in that first 60 days, but then we would have some clients that would drag on. And again, this is nothing, I'm not trying to take away from, the client or ourselves, but this is a problem that commonly happened. So during COVID, we wanted to figure out internal processes that allowed us to speed up our onboarding process. Because again, at the end of the day, if a client's coming to us to acquire new patients, they can't fully realize the benefits of working with us until their services are live. And if they're getting billed for ongoing marketing services before their website is live, I can understand why that would put a bad taste in someone's mouth. It's like, why is it taking so long to get this live? Further, what we realized is, what is a custom website? Like, really, what is a custom website? Do you need a custom website? Most people do not need what is actually considered a custom website. A true custom website is designing every little nook and cranny of that website to the client's exact specifications. What we have done is we've created a product called Custom Light. We have about 40 different blueprints that clients choose from. And what makes the website custom is the content, the video content, the photo content, and the text content that's included in all of our packages. And I'll show you, in fact, I'll show you right now what a custom light website looks like and how, to the untrained eye, you would not know that this is what some people might call a semi-custom website. But really, again, what makes the website custom is the content that lives on it. So let me share my screen. So this website right here is a practice that we work with in Orange County. And then this website right here is a orthodontic practice we work with in New Mexico.
That's a great shot right there.
Thank you. And they're the same websites, like the flow, the layout, the structure of the website is the same. However, when you look at it, would you think that these websites are the same? When I'm showing you them side by side, yeah, you can tell. But we will not give a custom light template to someone that is within 100-mile radius of someone we already work with to ensure that there is no crossover. Even then, if a patient were to see this website and say both of these practices were in Orange County, they still have different colors. And you're not looking at the colors of the website. You're looking at the content. You're looking at the video. You're reading the About Us. You're watching the patient testimonial videos. So that is one of the biggest changes.
I'd go so far as to say, if you find yourself looking at the text, you're either a designer or it's so bad that it called your attention to it. It should just disappear in the background.
Oh, absolutely. And I tell every client this that we work with, these service pages or procedure pages that we build out, they're not meant for patients. They're meant to help you rank well because of Google's algorithm and the fact that they love content. No one wants to sit there and read about dental implants or Invisalign or anything dental related. However, they would sit there and watch a quick video. And Google is constantly monitoring trends and data to see how people are consuming content. And if people are consuming content or video content at all-time highs, they're going to reward businesses who use video content to engage and educate their audience or their prospective patients. So that is why we as a company place such a huge emphasis on custom content. And as you'll see as we get into this, all of our packages at the very minimum include a photo shoot. So we can get rid of, as many stock photos as possible on a website. Now, again, there is a time and place for stock photos. Like if it's a picture of a dental implant, it does not need to be a picture of an actual dental implant from your office. It can be a stock photo.
Yeah, but that one white-haired guy that's in every dentist picture ever, you know the one I'm talking about? He's got to go.
There's so many. I know, there's so many. And again, on that note too, a lot of these stock photos where you use that ambiguous looking family where you can't tell what ethnicity they are. They're somewhere in between. Are they Black, white, Mexican, Asian? We don't know, but they kind of check off all these boxes.
They're
But the fact
exclusive
is
and
like,
trying to be inclusive.
but the thing is you're catfishing your patients when you do that. If you're not giving a true representation of yourself, like, let's be real, guys. We live in America. Racism and judgment is very prevalent. You need to give an authentic representation of yourself online. Otherwise, those leads that are coming in, maybe they get to their office and they see what you look like and they do not like you. You wouldn't know that until they came in. However, if you have videos and photos of yourself on your website that are actual photos and actual videos of your office, they can make that decision before they come in and waste your time.
That's it is hard. It's a hard point to talk about, though, because I mean, let's face it, in America, we're sensitive about these things, you know, and it seems sometimes that we're so sensitive that we get in the way of solving the problem.
Yep.
No, that's great thoughts. So talk to me a little bit more about how you guys have changed the process. So you've made these new custom websites, or custom light.
Yep.
And I noticed that you had introduced a couple of different tiers that you didn't have previously.
Correct. So previously, if a new client would come in, myself or someone on the sales team would work with them to develop a custom marketing plan. What we quickly realized is that, I don't know how to say this without sounding bad.
Dentists are really picky, and they're all engineers.
Exactly. And they didn't really know what they wanted. They were looking for a package that included what they wanted, but they didn't necessarily know exactly what they needed. So we wanted to create 3 approachable packages that escalate in the amount of services offered. And I'll actually go to our page we put together for this event. So this right here is our old pricing. And this is something that I wanted to mention during the call. Our pricing is raising by $100 a month on a couple of the packages. This package is actually going down in price. For anyone that decides to schedule a demo with us before Monday, May 2nd, when the price change takes effect, they will be grandfathered into our existing rates. Our new rates,
except for Influence, right? Because that one's going down.
Yeah, Influence is going down. So this is the new pricing. Elevate goes up $100. Captivate goes up $100. Influence goes down $300. So if someone signed up with a demo now, we would allow them to take advantage of the upcoming Influence pricing.
So how long will you allow them to use the link? And guys, by the way, if you're watching right now, or if you're watching later, there's a link in the description above that allows you to sign up or to make an appointment.
It'll take them to this page. Yeah.
Right. So
yeah.
How long?
Until the end of next week. So anyone that signs up for a demo, which is, 0 strings attached, you could take the demo and not like us, that's fine. But anyone that schedules a demo, and it doesn't need to actually complete during next week, but schedules the demo next week. So if it happens next week or the following week or 2 weeks out, depending on your schedule, that's fine. That is who we will allow to take advantage of our old pricing. Now, to answer your question previously, the difference between our packages is Elevate is our entry-level package. This does not include video, which means we cannot do video SEO. Captivate is our most common package. That is the package that 90% of people sign up with when coming on board. This includes your website, your video shoot, your photo shoot, all the marketing services you need to be found. The only asterisk that should be on there, and I think we did include an asterisk on our new pricing pages, is paid advertising is billed separately. So like Google ads, Facebook ads, you are responsible for your ad spend, and there is a 25% management fee. However, we keep Google ads out of our contracts. So our packages, since they require 0 setup, do require a 1-year contract to get started with us. With that being said, we used to charge $5,000 to get started with us. The only reason we are requiring a year contract is not because we want you stuck working with us. In fact, I don't want you to feel stuck working with us. That is the worst feeling as a business owner and one I would like to avoid. We did it because in order to offer these rates, we need to at least recoup what we are putting into the video shoot, to the photo shoot, to the website. Every single year that you continue to work with us, you'll notice it says annual. We'll come out and we'll do another photo shoot, another video shoot. And on top of that, we will give you the ability to completely redesign your website. Now, most practices won't take advantage of this every year. Websites have a shelf life of 2 to 3 years. The back end of websites doesn't change too much, but the front end does, with the styles and trends and how people want information displayed. So every single year, you completely redesign your website. You can make changes to your existing website. There's no limits on that, but this is completely redesigning it. And what we want our clients to understand, what we're trying to coach them on, is how important continuous content is. Content is king when it comes to any marketing, especially digital marketing. If you are not putting out the correct type of content, then your website is not going to be found. We as a marketing company know that if we update your content every single year, that our marketing campaigns will be that much more effective. We'll be able to verify that in the ROI dashboard that we have, making it very hard for you to want to leave working with us, because we're doing exactly what we said we're going to do. You're not coming to me for a website. You're not coming to me for video. You're not coming to me to get more likes on social media. You are coming to me and my company because you would like an increase on the new patients that you are seeing each month, and you would like for a company to be able to verify that so you can sleep easily at night knowing that your investment is not being thrown away.
Absolutely. It's one of the things I tell doctors when I'm teaching them case acceptance is your patient didn't come for implant. They came because they didn't like their smile. They want a tooth, and they don't even really want a tooth. They just want their smile to look right. So that's a good point.
Yeah. And it's again, dentists have been conditioned to ask certain questions when interviewing a marketing company. Is my website custom? Again, what does custom mean? Most websites out there are not custom. Even the ones that you think are custom are not custom built websites. They ask how many blogs come each month with our SEO. Is online forms included? Do you manage our directory? These are all questions that you guys have been trained to ask because you've been burned by marketing companies. And that's really what we wanted to do, is kind of flip the script. You've been burned by marketing companies. And that's really what we wanted to do, is kind of flip the script.
1 second, Pete. Sorry about
because
that.
you've been burned by marketing companies. Feedback. And that's really what we wanted to do.
That was so good, it was worth saying twice, buddy.
I was going to say, I heard it like 10 times. But really, so many clients or doctors out there have been burned by previous marketing companies. And whether that's a byproduct of the marketing companies over promising and under delivering, or clients going into it with false expectations, that is what we want to break down. Is like, I'm not going to sit here and guarantee you anything. I'll tell you, like I said earlier, 7x ROI is when we consider an account in healthy standing internally. We have a 98% client retention rate, and in large part to our ROI dashboard. But what I can show you is how your marketing dollars are being spent, which channels are most effective, which channels have the highest conversion rates. So you and I, as client company, can sit down together and figure out how to best allocate your marketing budget to reach your goals. I don't want your goals to be on page 1 or to have this many followers on social media. The reason that's your goal is because you translate that into new patients. So we are a new patient acquisition company. We are hyper focused on attracting and bringing in new patients. When it comes to, again, recall, recare, that is not what we dabble with. We might in the future, but for now, we are laser focused on helping practices acquire new patients and being able to verify it so they can measure the success of their marketing campaigns and make educated decisions moving forward on how to best spend their marketing dollars to ensure that they're getting a maximum ROI for those dollars.
So what happens if a client slips below that acceptable range? What do you guys do? I mean, is it an all hands on deck moment? I mean, what happens there?
Great question. It's something that we will alert the client of. We would rather stay ahead of issues than be reactive. So we're going to be proactive about any sort of issues that we see happening or anticipate happening. Further, our software that I'll get into in a bit has a call recording and tracking feature. So we can actually go through, listen to phone calls, and help our practices be better at managing the inbound leads that are coming in through their marketing. So if you have a new staff member, a team member that doesn't know what to say on the phones, have them listen to someone else's recordings who have already done a great job, that they've been with the practice for a while. They know how to get people from the phone to the chair. There's a lot of different things that we can do to proactively, combat that. And in fact, we've had a couple clients that were spending thousands of dollars a month on ads, Google ads, and they weren't answering the phone. So we proactively said, you need to lower your Google ads budget until you can figure out a system to properly answer all of the calls and follow up with them. Because if you miss a call and that person clicked on one of your ads, that's $10 that you just threw down the drain. Yeah. And like that adds up quickly. If you're not answering all the calls and giving them and following up with them, not just once, but up to 7 times, follow up with them the day of, 2 days later, 5 days later, 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later.
And have a system to track who you followed up with and when and what their answer was. And if they don't sign up, what their objection was.
Exactly. So you can take that and learn from it. And next time you hear an objection like that, you'll already have a canned response. And sure, the canned responses will be customized depending upon the patient you're talking to, but you'll be able to give your team the ammo that they need to combat those different things and to make sure that every single phone call that comes in is being handled to the best of your team's ability.
Hey guys, this is Doc Huffpower, founder of the Business of Dentistry and host of the Dear Doc podcast. Today, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about one of our sponsors. 4G Dental Labs has been a sponsor of the Business of Dentistry for over 2 years now. They're a family-owned business located here in Houston, Texas. They're fast, they're reliable, but best of all, they provide affordable quality. They're just plain, honest, good people. For our TVOD members, for your first 20 crowns, every 5th one will be free. Contact 4G Dental Labs at 833-682-8901. Again, that's 833-682-8901. Or you can mail or even just stop by. Jeff Guidey, the owner, would be glad to see you. Absolutely. They're no longer, to extend that metaphor, they're no longer shooting in the dark. They kind of know where to aim.
Exactly. And so with that being said, I'd love to kind of take us through our ROI dashboard. Now, just so everyone knows.
Before you do, Hey guys, if you're out there and you're listening right now and you have a burning question you would like to ask Pete, go ahead and drop a question down into the comment section. Again, we are interviewing Pete Johnson of LassoMD. Go ahead, Pete.
Yeah, please. The more questions, the better. And like I said earlier, if anyone wants to have a private conversation with me, please let me know. I'm sure if you want to have a private conversation with me, you probably already have my phone number. But in case you don't, it's 619-405-1425. Again, 619-405-1425. But this is our ROI dashboard. It integrates currently with Dentrix, Eaglesoft, and Open Dental. So that takes up about 75% of the marketplace. We all know that there's other practice management softwares, and some of those bigger ones are on our roadmap. But for right now, our software, like all the marketing services we can do for anyone, regardless of what practice management software they're operating on. But if you want the software portion of it, you have to be on one of those 3. This is a live dashboard. And in fact, I met this client through the Business of Dentistry 3-4 years ago. So they've been with us for a long time. Now, this name is a fake name. We are in demo mode because what I'm about to show you does contain PHI. So all the PHI is blurred out. But as you'll see, we're in the month of April, not a full month, but pretty close to a full month. In this month for them, we have generated 188 leads. 39 people have scheduled. 65 patients have completed an appointment. And the overall production from those new patients is 25,000. This client is on our mid-level package, and they are spending about $1,000 a month on Google Ads. So all in, they're spending about $2,000 a month with us.
Tnx Multiplier, baby. I love it.
What's up?
10X, man. I love it.
Yep. And 10X, and we'll go back and look retroactively as well, because I don't want you to think I'm just showing you 1 month they did well and trying to inflate expectations. There's going to be ups and downs. But again, it's all about being able to access the data so we can make educated decisions on what to do with that moving forward. And again, one thing I really want to harp in on is we are only tracking new patients that are coming in through the marketing channels that we are actively marketing on for our clients. This is not tracking any sort of community marketing that you're doing. We can set it up to track other events, but typically we don't. This tool is used to verify the ROI that our services are providing. We will sometimes track mailers or track other digital marketing campaigns for clients upon request. But since we have the integration, when a patient calls in, if that phone and number is existing in your database, we treat them as an existing patient. We do not track them. Every single lead that has come in is a brand new name and brand new phone number. We can break it down by source. Does that come from your SEO, Google paid ads, other online source? That could be if we set up some sort of directory listing or something that they want to track, because let's say you're doing a Groupon and you want to track the effectiveness of that Groupon. We can set up custom sources for you to track. As you can see, every single call is recorded and transcribed. Now, the transcription is not perfect. I want to make it very clear that the transcription is AI. So a lot of times it will sound a little bit like gibberish if you're just reading through the conversation. However, it still gives you the ability to quickly glance and see, okay, this person is talking about having Delta insurance, or this person is fee for service. They don't have insurance. They want to come in for dental implants. It gives everyone on your team the ability to see any sort of communication that has been had with that patient coming up to that point. Furthermore, I can scroll down and click into a patient's profile. I can see an overview of their account. This is a 41-year-old male. Here's all the treatment. Here's the treatment plan that's been prescribed and not yet completed. Here's any communications that have been had with that client. Here's any extra details or insurance information. So you can get really granular with the data that you're looking at. Most of our practices live out of these 4 top KPIs. And a KPI, for those of you who don't know, is a key performance indicator. And it's basically a way to measure the most important things that you're looking at, so you have similar metrics that you're looking at each month. On top of it being an ROI dashboard, it also serves as our patient lead hub. So every single lead that comes in from the marketing services that we're providing is stored in this center. And once they are book an appointment and become a patient within your practice management software, they are removed from this list. So your staff can easily log in every single morning and see which leads they need to follow up with, because they have not yet converted into a patient. So again, we're under the belief that knowledge is power. And the more transparent we can be, the more people will understand what we are doing for them. And that's what kind of takes me back to what gets us here. I've gone over a bunch of the analytics and what separates us from other marketing companies. This is why people stay with us, because they can actually see what we're doing for them and quantify that we are delivering a positive ROI. But the reason people come to us is because all of our packages include video. We could easily charge $5,000 to $10,000 for a video shoot and custom website. We don't do that. We got rid of setup fees. So for $900 a month, you're getting the video shoot, photo shoot, and website basically for free. And really all you're paying for is search engine optimization, video search engine optimization, social media management, our software, and then Google ads or Facebook ads if you opt into doing those. So what I want to focus on next is the different types of videos that we create as a part of our standard package and why those videos are important. So the first video that we create is the video header, and that's what you see here. Instead of having a static image or a carousel of images, we're slicing up B-roll footage that we've created from being out there for the in-office shoot and putting together like a 30-second video that plays on loop. This section of the website, so anytime you go to a website, before you scroll down, that part of the website is called Above the Fold. And that is the most valuable real estate on your website. The homepage above the fold is the most valuable part of your website, as that is where most traffic lands, and that's where you make your first impression. The next video that we create is the About Us video. And the About Us, or the practice overview video, is where we begin to tell your story. And I won't play these videos with sound right now, just because we're on a Zoom and the audio won't come through well. But the overview video, again, is where we start to build upon that emotional connection and trust that's needed in order to do business with anyone. We want to tell the story of why you became a doctor, why you opened up shop where you did, what drove you in your life to dedicating your life to serving people for their dental care needs. That is powerful stuff. People just want to get to know who you are and how you treat other people, which brings me into our third set of videos that we do, which are our patient testimonials or testimonials. We see across the board, the most viewed pages on our clients' websites, aside from the homepage, are the Meet the Team or About Us page, and then the testimonials or reviews page. We all know how important online reviews are. I'm sure most of you are already using automated tools to help generate online reviews. That is something that we do include in all of our packages. So if you do have, EagleSoft Open Dental or Dentrix and you're paying $300 for an online review service, that is included in our package. Also, a big fan of, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So if you are enjoying your experience with your current ORG company, I'm not sitting here telling you that you should change and stop working with them. They probably have added on services that make their service even more valuable. Ours is just the automated online reviews where it's going to send out text prompting your patients to leave reviews after they receive their care. But back to the original topic, video testimonials are by far the most powerful videos that you can create. Let's put ourselves in the shoes of a patient. Let's say we just moved to town. We have no idea what's going on. We are looking for new providers for just about everything in our life. So how are we going to select someone that we're going to potentially spend thousands of dollars with, and is going to have a lasting effect on the way that our face looks? And not only our face, but our smile, arguably the most important part of your face. They need social proof and social validation that the way you treat your current patients falls in line with the way that they want to be treated. Some of these stories are very powerful. I've watched a couple of our patient testimonials over the years and had tears come to my eye from a Las Vegas shooting, at that country concert years back. One of the OMSs we work with actually operated on a person who got shot in the face during that Las Vegas shooting, and watching her story brought me to tears. That's some heavy stuff. This doctor helped change her life from what was one of the most horrible experiences in her life to giving her the confidence to smile again. Also, if you're in a smaller community, a patient might see someone that they know, or maybe not know personally, but maybe their son is on the same baseball team as your son. So giving people these different stories to listen to and to resonate with is going to help them make that decision to choose you over choose someone else. And furthermore, you have your strong written reviews, but then being able to watch that video, that's where you tug on the emotional heartstrings. That's where the tears come to the eyes. I'm not going to read a testimonial and get teary-eyed. And again, I might be one that gets teary-eyed more often than not. I'll watch some commercials that have nothing to do with anything emotional, and I'll be getting teared up. So I might be a little more emotional than most, but still, these videos are extremely powerful. Now let's switch gears for a second. The first three videos that I've talked about have been focused on that emotional connection, that trust that's needed in order to do business with someone. The next set of videos, our service experience videos, are where we actually create videos about the different services that we provide. Google put out a study pre-COVID. 80% of people prefer watching a video over reading text when looking for a new service or product.
And guys,
Like I
that's
said
that's only
earlier.
going to get more skewed in that direction. My kids, man, my kids are brilliant, but they will not read. They
Mm-mm.
actually send each other voice text instead of typing. Drives me
Yeah,
crazy. We're gonna have an
me too.
entire generation of illiterates.
No, the other night, I have a 7-year-old daughter, and she is obsessed with creating videos. And the other night, she was showing me one of the videos that she created, and I didn't teach her how to do any of this. She watched YouTube videos, learned how to do everything that she was doing, and the video was silly. She's not the next Scorsese, let's just say that.
Right.
But still, the fact that she figured out how to do all this on her own by watching videos on YouTube says so much. And as you were alluding to, that number I gave you was pre-COVID. Let's think about the apps that blew up during COVID. Zoom, which Doc Hoff and I are on right now using to broadcast to you guys. And this stat actually blew my mind. And Doc, I'll let you answer this one for the audience. Google has been the most visited URL for the last 15 years. What do you
TikTok.
think overtook? Yep. TikTok
I
is
was gonna
now
say
the-
I was gonna say Tinder, but then I was like, no, don't put him there.
No. I mean, I'm sure Tinder was visited a lot during COVID as well,
I
but
bet.
that's a different story. That's a topic for a different
When,
discussion.
when we're off the air, I have a story to tell you about an article I saved from the Wall Street Journal. It was removed very quickly, but it's hilarious. I'll tell you about it.
I'll need to check that out. But as I was saying, so yes, TikTok is now the #1 most visited URL as of 2021. Now, Google is still the most visited search engine. TikTok is not a search engine. People don't even realize that when you're accessing the app, are actually accessing a URL. So a lot of their app views have to do with why they're the #1 most visited URL. But same thing goes to if you're accessing Gmail. That's tied to Google's URL. So it takes into consideration
Yeah, but
all
you know,
sorts of
that's a double piece of evidence right there, because the other thing that you're contending with is your website mobile optimized? Because all of those people who are going on TikTok and maybe Tinder, I don't know, those guys are all using their phone.
Oh, Tinder is for sure a phone thing. You're just, swiping.
You're supposed to be like, I don't know anything about that, Doc. I'm gonna have to rely upon your knowledge.
Girlfriend on Bumble, so I'm more of a Bumble fan than Tinder, but Bumble's good.
It's the only one I know the name of.
No, but like as you were saying, yeah, like people, I think COVID taught us a lot of things. But one thing it made very clear is that we as humans crave social connection. And when we were forced to, shut down everything and, bunker down in our houses, we turned to apps that were video based to communicate with our loved ones, with our friends, with random people that we know nothing about and we just saw them on the internet. I mean, think about how many stupid dances that they do on TikTok. I will never get into that. I might do it if my daughter forces me to, but I'm not going to be the one that sits there and does these silly little dance moves to get more views on TikTok. But still, that is what entertained us when we were locked down. Now, coming out of that, all of the video content consumption has been accelerated. It was already trending very quickly towards video content being the way. But if you think about it, think about how you communicate with the biggest brands out there, with Verizon, with Pepsi, Starbucks. They're all playing commercials that we see every single time we turn on the TV. It's not that their product is better than the other product, but it's because we are conditioned to like that product and to associate it with things in our lives that we like. Whether it's comedic, whether it's your favorite athlete promoting that brand, whatever it might be, we are conditioned to like those brands. Now, they also have $500 million marketing budgets and some of the smartest people in the world working for them, but that doesn't mean that you as a dental practice should not be using video content.
Right.
And in fact, the cost of producing video content have come down exponentially in the last 10 to 15 years. 10 years ago, what do you do with video content once you produce it? You go buy a commercial spot and hope that you're broadcasting it to the right person at the right time. And even then, that's really expensive, like producing the video, then buying the commercial spot. We're talking about $25,000, $35,000, and you're not guaranteed anything. Not that you're ever guaranteed anything in marketing, but That's a big chunk of change to spend without really knowing what's going to happen. But with
Absolutely.
the continued emergence of the internet and how it's really taking over everything, it's given way to smaller businesses being able to put out video content at affordable costs. And furthermore, you can get hyper targeted with who you're showing those video ads
Absolutely.
to. If you're creating a Google Ads campaign, make sure you have a custom landing page first and foremost. Don't just send them to the homepage of the website or the service page on your website that talks about whatever they clicked on. Create a custom landing page. Put videos on there of you talking to that prospective patient and alleviating any concerns that they might have. And we all know most patients' concerns really boils down to how much is it going to cost and is it something that I actually need? It is your job as a dental professional to present it to them in a way that they can easily digest and be like, oh, this is not as far out of reach as I thought. I can afford this. With their in-house financing or with care credit that they offer at the practice, I can make this dream of mine a reality. So you're really just the shepherd that is guiding them down the path towards their goal or their solution. And video is going to help you guide them further because they would much rather be guided by a shepherd that is using video content than one that's just writing text about dental implants. Like, I've been working in dental for close to 10 years. If I'm on the phone with Doc and he starts talking clinically to me, I get lost. I'm like, all right, man, I'll talk to you later. I have no idea what you're saying, but I trust you.
Absolutely.
Now, I know Doc, I trust him, but unfortunately, you guys, there's a stigma around dentists that they're just going to try to shove, and excuse the pun, the biggest treatment plan they can down your mouth. And people are not trustful. They think that I don't need this. Like, is this just cosmetic? And sure, some of it probably is, but
Well,
those
it
people
can make
aren't
things
as
worse.
concerned
There's
about
no
money.
standardization. They go to a dentist 2 doors down, and that dentist might be
Has a
somebody
complete
who's
different
going to
price.
lowball because there's different philosophies. There's one philosophy that says, oh, well, I'm not going to treatment plan anything at all at first so I can gain their trust. Well, let me tell you, if they find out there was something wrong and you missed it, you just lost their trust. And there's
Yep.
another school of trust, that is another school of thought that's like, I'm going to throw it all at them. And so the second guy looks dishonest compared to the first guy.
Mhm.
It's a whole mess. If there was some sort of standardization, it wouldn't be so bad. But guys, we've done this to ourselves. He's right. You need to approach things in a different way if you want to gain that patient's trust, and to justify that there may be different ways of going about things, even though this is a science.
Yep. No, and I could not agree with you more. And I think that is what video does. It allows you to show the most genuine, authentic version of yourself online to people who are looking for new services or products. You can show who you are, you can show how you treat people, and you can talk about how you do it and show before and after photos and all this other things to support your claims. Is the reason I do it this way is, I don't even want to say the best, but this is the reason I do it this way, because it generates these results. And I think that's what people have a hard time understanding, is they want to try to compete with everyone else. Guys, it's not a competition. There are more than enough patients for everyone to go around and be happy. And it's the same thing like when I talk to other marketing companies, or I'm in a deal where I'm competing against other marketing company, I just simply tell our clients, it's like, hey, this is how we do things. This is why we do things this way. Here is how I think we differentiate ourselves. But at the end of the day, we might not be the best fit for you. If you are shopping on price and you want SEO for $250 a month because that's what you think it should cost, there is a company out there that will sell you SEO for $250 a month. Or there's a company out there that'll sell you SEO for $2,000 a month. And the difference between those services is probably not as much as you think. It's really one of those things where when it comes to selecting a marketing company, know that all of us marketers subscribe to the same Bible, and that Bible is whatever Google puts out. Google is the search giant. They make up 85% of search traffic, and most of the other search engines kind of fall in line with what Google wants because they want to remain relevant. So with that being said, it's not about the actual deployment of the content or the way you set up your website, because your website should be set up the right way. It's about the content that goes on that website. And then that's where we step in and really kill it. We have done video shoots at over 500 practices now. We have it down to a process. When we first started doing video shoots, and Doc, you were one of our first clients.
Yep.
We made our clients memorize scripts. It was a mess. It was not a process that I am proud of. However,
I would like to say there was a lot of excitement over the fact that I could speak on camera and didn't have a problem memorizing the script. In fact, I went completely off script and they all loved it.
No, and
not everybody's like
90, that. Exactly. And that's what I was going to say. I would say about 90% of our clients do not want to be on camera. There's about 10% like, hey, I'm comfortable on camera. You know, I got an outgoing personality. I can handle this. Great. What I was trying to get to is that you can be on camera if you want. However, now, if you're not comfortable with being on camera, we provide voiceover actors or actresses. Typically, we use actresses because they have more inviting voices. Also, 70% of appointments scheduled are still scheduled by women. So it's important, again, to know who your audience is and know who's scheduling the majority of your appointments. So taking all of that into consideration, it's really becomes a no-brainer and why people should work with us over someone else. We are not the most expensive. We are not the cheapest. But if you compare apples to apples and like truly compare apples to apples, for $900 a month, $1,000 a month starting next month, you can get everything you need plus a lot more. I can't stress enough that our packages are truly built for value. We know that our prices are low. And in fact, when we've had to work out, you know, special deals, like if anyone out there is a Smile Source member or a TDA member, we have broker discounts for those associations. And thank you to Doc Hoffpower for helping us get endorsed by the TDA. But when they came to us and like, hey, we need these exclusive prices, we're like, crap, like we lead with our best price. So it's really hard for us to knock any more, you know, off because our margins are already razor thin. So what I'm trying to say is we know we could charge more for our services. It's a conscious decision not to. We want to make our product accessible. Our goal and why my business partner, Eric, and I started this company was to support small businesses. Eric's mom was an office manager, so he grew up in a dental practice. My dad is a small business owner. Small business owners are the backbone of America. And if we don't take care of the small businesses, then we're screwed. I mean, and for too long in dental, marketing companies, again, and it might have been a combination of doctors not understanding and marketing companies inflating expectations. However you want to spin it, doctors were not making educated decisions about how to spend their marketing dollars because no marketing company was being transparent. And that's why we lead with our pricing on our website. If you guys can find me a marketing company that lists their prices online, please send it over to me because not many do. They're going to say, call for a consultation. We want everyone to know how much our prices cost. We don't care if our competitors know how much our prices cost because we have it down to a system. We know that we can do video shoots at the price that we do them at because we've done 500 of them and we have it down to a science.
Well, guys, we've been here for almost an hour now. Before we go, I'd like Pete to tell us a little bit again about the special Business of Dentistry offer. Again, if you look up top, there will be a link to the landing page. Now, this is only good for people who call for a consultation within the next 2 weeks. You don't have to start within the next 2 weeks. However, their prices are going up. And I begged, pleaded, kicked, screamed, and threw a fit. And so Pete has said that for the next 2 weeks, he will give you guys the old prices. So Pete, you want to bring that up again real quick?
Yes, sir. So I myself am a big Apple fan. So anytime someone offers an Apple product, I'm very keen to listen. But furthermore, we wanted to have a giveaway that actually meant something to the practice to where, and not that everyone's going to use it this way, because some people might take the free iMac and put it at home, but to have a station in their office where they can access all of our software and know that this is like their marketing computer. So for any client that signs up with our Influence or Captivate package, which is our two higher level packages, you'll get a brand new 2022 iMac. If you guys haven't seen them yet, They're awesome. They come in different colors. They're bringing back like that mid 90s flair where you could get, all the different colors, and they're like those little cubes. It was like the first time I played a computer game was in my grandparents' house. But they're awesome computers, and anyone that signs up gets a free iMac. So I think that's pretty enticing. I think it's enough to listen to me talk to you for 30 minutes and see if I can help you out. Best case scenario, you sign up with us and you get a free iMac. Worst case, you learn a little bit more about marketing. Every call that I take with anyone, and same with anyone on, we will tell you what's working, what's not, where there's areas for improvement, and you can take that back to your current marketing company and have them fix it for you, or you can decide to work with us. Again, my biggest concern is not closing as many people as possible. It's being a valuable resource, because I know if I'm a valuable resource, people want to work with me regardless.
Absolutely. Well said. All right, my friend, thank you for coming on to the show, and thank you for sharing an hour with me, talking a little bit about how you're going to give away all these iMacs with the M1
hopefully
chip.
We're giving away 20.
Hey, M1 chip too, man. These things are fast.
Oh, of course. Oh, I have one in my office. Best computer I've worked on in a long time. Like, I can open up like 20 apps at the same time, no slowdown.
Absolutely. Well, folks, thank you again for supporting the Dear Doc podcast and the business of dentistry. As always, thank you for your time. Have a great night.
Thanks for listening to the Dear Doc podcast, your source for the business and legal questions associated with your dental practice. Don't forget to subscribe to the Dear Doc podcast on all major platforms.